Whitney. Keep it cute. All right, hello you guys. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Welcome to the channel. If you're new, don't be. Go ahead and click that subscribe button to be a part of the Witness gang, to join the Witness Nation. Now, as promised, you guys, I have the wonderful opportunity of allowing this beautiful young lady to grace Whitney DTV. This has been long overdue. Okay, but we gonna get into some things, okay? Without further ado, before, however, check this out and I will introduce you guys to JALISA. Big House, where 7 plus-size ladies compete to impress the panel of veteran fashion industry judges, Takara Jones, E.J. King, Kelly Augustine. Now, the judges wanted to see who could become the next modeling sensation to go viral and get featured in high-end campaigns and cultivate a hot new fan base. Join me as I sit down with JALISA model, actress, makeup artist to the stars about the industry, reality TV, and so much more. Only on Whitney B TV. Subscribe now. Hey, welcome.
Hello. Hi, Boo.
Hey. I am great. We got so happy to have you here. This has been so long overdue, ma'am. Okay.
It has been. It definitely has been. I love this. This is so cool. This is my first time being on StreamYard.
Oh wow, you have to. Oh my gosh, you're gonna love it.
Amazing.
I'm telling you, it's a whole little production. Like
It is. That is so cool.
I love it. So how are you?
I'm doing good. I am doing amazing, actually. Life has
we gonna get into it all. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh.
too.
So okay, so I mean, I know people are probably like, what's going on? Okay, let's start from the beginning. Okay. Who is JALISA? Where did you grow up at? And you know, how did you get into this wonderful world of makeup and models?
So I'm from Conway, Arkansas. That's my hometown. I grew up in Arkansas, and Dallas was like my second home. So I was always stomping around in Dallas as a little girl as well. And really the compassion for beauty started in high school. I took cosmetology, and there I learned like the basics of beauty, skincare, how to do a roller set, how to color match, and all those things. And I never knew that my passion in cosmetology would grow into my career today. So I feel like it was all in alignment. It was definitely the story God had written for me. And after high school, it went from there. It went with me, it followed me, and I was able to bring my gifts and talents here to California, which is where I'm at now. And I've been here for it'll be 6 years in November.
Right. I remember getting that DM when you first came up there. When you got up there, you was like, Whitney, oh no. Oh God. I was just like, you got this, you know.
Yes.
So I would love for everybody to know the story of how we met.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, y'all. I was gonna drop that clip, baby, because that clip, I have this clip of JALISA on the runway, baby. She turned and whipped at her and look at that camera. I was like,
I have to see the clip. If you're not going to show it, you're going to have to show me for sure.
Yes, you know what?
Because
I like to have it all polished and stuff like that, but it is every bit of I say yes. I say, oh, they just don't know. They don't know where she started. Okay,
right.
I got it. I'm gonna pull it up. You know me. I got you. Let me.
Oh my goodness.
Y'all, this is so impromptu. This is because I love JALISA. Normally, y'all know I'll be having my stuff all framed and stuff, but this is a clip that I was actually going to use for the teaser for this particular moment in itself. Let me see if I can get it up. Yeah,
I love to see these things because it's so hard to forget where you started. Well, not necessarily forget. For me, I never really forget. It's just like to remember like how I was and what I was so passionate about back then. Like, it's hard to remember those things, and people always tell me, like, Jalissa, you've always spoken things into existence, and you've always did this, and I never knew that I was doing that. So when people show me and tell me that, it's like, wow, I really, have
Yeah, you were
have
captivating. You were
yeah.
so captivating to me.
Thank
So
you.
this is a clip, you guys, from the Era Fashion Experience. You guys know I talk about my fashion shows that I produce all
Yes.
the time. And I was blessed to have Jaleesa walk in. And so check this particular clip out, you guys. And Jaleesa for, I guess, the first time in a long time.
Girl.
Here she go, y'all. When she
I
comes around
definitely
this
remember this show.
corner.
Oh my god, this
Yes.
was one of my favorite fashion shows. I have a lot of
Yes.
pictures from
Oh, thank you so much. And here she
for
goes.
sure.
Bam, baby.
Oh my
Serving it. Yes. Okay. That one little clip
god.
to me was everything. I
That
said,
is so cool.
yeah. And it was just that one moment you turn your eyes and you just, oh my God, you lock into the camera. I was like,
Oh my
oh
gosh. It
God,
gives me
oh my gosh.
chills.
You did amazing. You did amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, yes. So I met Jaleesa by way of our fashion show. I knew her in around town in the industry as being a plus size model, and so I was just like so proud of her when she got to go off to LA. Now, how did that happen for you? How did you get to LA?
Well, Dallas was definitely the perfect stepping stone for me to come to LA because I had graduated in 2014 from high school, and I always wanted to move to California. I just didn't know when, and I was not ready when I graduated high school. So Dallas being like my second home, I was like, you know what? I don't want to be in Arkansas, and Dallas is very close to home for me, so that's where I'm going to go. And I packed my Malibu up and I moved to Dallas, and I stayed with my auntie the first year I was there, or 2 years I was there. And then I got my own place. And I kind of just, oh, I know exactly where it started for me in Dallas. So I was at the Grand Prairie Mall, and I entered into like one of the fashion shows that they had there. And the prize winners won like a 1 year contract with Model and Talent Incorporation.
Wow.
And we had to perform a talent and things. And I was already comfortable being on camera because I was doing my YouTube channel. So I had that stage right out the way, and I was just so happy to win her. So I won a 1 year modeling contract. And it's like after that, I don't really remember the networks that I had, but somehow I ended up in fashion shows in Dallas. And I'm talking about back to back to back, like all these fashion shows. That's how I met you,
Yeah.
through our resources. And I was walking in Louisiana and Dallas and Arkansas. Like I was just going all over the South doing these fashion shows. And then it came a time where I was like working all these jobs in Dallas, and I really was not happy with where I was in Dallas anymore. I love the industry there, but it just wasn't fulfilling me purposefully. So crazy how God set things up. So I'm working all these call center jobs. I'm working like all these bogus jobs like Walmart, just little jobs like that.
Mhm.
And I was going to the job, like the job fairs there, and I had a caseworker who was helping me look for jobs. I'm like, what do you have for me that I like? Like, I'm not interested in no call centers. Like, and he was like, I don't know. And he called me the next day and was like, Jaleesa, I have something for you. And I was like, okay, what is it? And he was like, there is an internship opening for a PR firm here in Dallas, and they represent all of the like different Black owned businesses in Dallas. And you're going to be working like the social media and stuff. And I was like, are you serious? So next thing you know, I was like on the set of the news channels and like eating with the mayor of Dallas and like things like that. So that right there kind of gave me a glimpse of, okay, I need to go to California because I feel like that's where I would really flourish at in this. So I visited California in 2019 for my birthday, and I knew it was for me. I visited for a week, and I said, I'm moving back here. I'm moving back here in a year. And I moved back in a year. Just in that time, I really, like, God really gave me the vision, like, Jalissa, this is where you should be at. So I moved back in a year. And my first job here in California was at Warner Brothers. I was a studio tour guide. Shout out to my auntie if she's watching. I was studio tour guide there, and California was very hard the first year. And I had no idea that, I wanted to be doing makeup here. But when I came, I knew that I wanted to be doing something that I love, which is everything beauty. I just didn't know how that was going to happen, but I didn't give up. I kept going, I kept trusting. And that first year was the hardest year of my life. Um, I didn't know how I was going to afford to live here. I was about to lose my car, my little Malibu that has been with me since Dallas. I was about to lose my car, and it came to a point in life where I really had to sit down with myself and figure out what it is I wanted to do with my future. And then I'm a young adult with all these dreams that God has given me, and I didn't know what was supposed to do with them. So I really grew closer to God then in this time, like I never before. Like I had to depend on Him to really help me get through this adulthood thing. So during that time, I was asking for a financial blessing, and I didn't want to lose my car. I know I needed to move out of my auntie's house. It's already been 2 years. Like, I don't know what to do. And God blessed me to be on a game show called Hip Hop Squares on
Yes.
VH1. That was my
Yes.
first TV debut here in California. I was on a game show
Wait
playing
a
a little.
minute. Was that before or after you went on the Real?
The Real was when I visited. That was one of the things that made me come back to California.
Okay, see, I did my research and I saw you. I was watching it live and I said, "That's Jalisa." Oh my gosh, yes. Yes, I
Was
saw that. That was
yes, that was one of
amazing.
the things that made
Wow.
me move back to California. Just that moment, and it was a moment of me crying. Like I was
Yeah.
very emotional in that clip because it was my first time on a TV set, and Tamara and Lonnie and Adrian, they all come out on the stage, and like my emotions just shot everywhere with me. I In that moment, I literally pictured myself like where I wanted to be. So I started crying. And when we sat down, they had the audience sit down, and the producer, she was like pointing me out. And Tamara goes, she's crying. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm right here in the front and everything. And they was like, give her the mic. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like I was just so excited to be there and to be so close to what I've always wanted. And
Right. So
Tamara
fast forward.
embraced Yes, Tamara embraced me. Fast forward a year later, literally, I
Yeah.
moved back. And my first time being on TV as JALISA SHAVEH was on Hip Hop Squares, playing alongside Pretty V and B Simone. And I mean, it would be cool to say I was just on a game show, but it's even cooler and a big blessing to say that I won the game show. I was the game show winner, grand prize winner, and I
Yeah.
won $27,000. Glory to God. Yes.
So
Yes.
question. Okay, I pay attention to details. You said that was your first time because many of you guys may not be aware, but your last name was Dillard. What was the name switch? Why the name switch? What happened?
So my middle name is Chaveh, and I was going. My YouTube name was J Chaveh, so that was like my stage name. So when I moved to California and I started networking, I wanted to take my last name and make it more personable and even more cuter. I think that was more that fit me more to just use my first name and middle name.
Wow. Okay. So Jaleisha Chavez. Okay, you
Yes.
win Hip Hop Squares and you win the grand prize, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to get into that. How did that work? Like, did they
Yeah.
give you the big lump sum? Did it? Can you talk about that?
Yeah. Of course. Of
Okay,
course. So
because we always are curious about that. Like, I watch game shows, and I'm like, that ain't real. But when I
yeah.
saw you, I was like, no, she's real. Like, so it wasn't rigged. Like,
No.
how did you get
So
on there?
with the industry, like if you're in the industry of acting or improv, we're on a bunch of casting networks. So casting networks meaning they send out casting calls for you to just apply and audition for all of these different roles that they have listed on the board. And they were looking for fun, energetic people to be on a game show. They never mentioned the game show. And what they do is a process, like a 2 or 3 step process where they Zoom call you to see your energy. And then the next step was bringing like 10 people into a room and having us play like random games, card games, board games, seeing how we interact and our energy and stuff. And they brought me onto set. This was at CBS Studios. I'm still not knowing what the game show is, what's happening. I come into a room with like 10 people, and they're all like, expect to go home or expect to stay. So it's been about an hour. We're sitting there, and they come and grab me and my co-player, Angel. At this moment, we still don't know what's happening. First people to be taken out the room, we're thinking like, okay, we could possibly be going home. They were like, get your things, you're not coming back. So we start walking off the set through the lot, and they're like, the girl turns around, she's like, what are you gonna do when you win the money? And we looked at each other like, what? Like, we're about to play? She's like, you guys are the first pick to play. And at that moment right there, I completely just like, I was like, oh my God, like I'm about to go on a game show. I did know that it was going to be real. Game shows are real. Some of them, I believe game shows are real. I haven't had any auditions for game shows that weren't like, we're going to give you the money. We're not going to give you the money. So game shows are real. They pay you like a per diem to be there for the day. If you don't win or go on the show, they still pay you a per diem. And then we went on to the game show. We seen Pretty VB Simone backstage, and it was like, okay, action. And they took us out, and they were like, have your saying of what you're going to do with the money. And that was it. So after we won the game show, the confetti went off. It was literally like, okay, cut, everybody go home. So I literally couldn't believe it. It felt so unreal. I wish I could go back and live that moment again, because it just felt unreal. And they ended up sending the checks probably like 3 or 4 months later. They sent the regular winnings, and then they sent the grand prize winnings in 2 separate checks.
Wow. Oh my gosh. That is so stinking cool. Because I'm just like, I'm always curious about that. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm always curious. Okay. So, you guys, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to dive in deeper to everything else. Okay. So, grab a snack and hang on back. I got to pay some bills. Okay. So, we'll be right back.
Suja, meaning long, beautiful life, embodies the promise that flows from the cold-pressed beverages it delivers in each and every bottle. Now today they carry on their founder's mission to get the best quality organic and non-GMO beverages into as many hands as possible. Now I am happy to say I am one of those hands. Yes, I'm Whitney D of Whitney D TV, and I am a proud ambassador of Suja Juice. I love personally their vibrant probiotic juice, and their immunity elderberry shots got me and my family through the roughest times of COVID-19. Now, if you want to find a quick and resourceful way to take on all of your vitamins and nutrients, try sujajuice.com. Visit the description box down below to get more information, and let them know that Whitney D or Whitney D TV sent you. Bye.
Sujajuice.com, okay? And you can actually pick up this juice at any of your retail stores, Walmart or Whole Foods. I am a brand ambassador, okay? Sujajuice.com, okay? All right, you guys, welcome back. And yes, you can find all my brand affiliates and ambassadors at the end of this video in the description box. Okay, let's continue with this exclusive interview with JALISA. Okay, so we left off. We hear how you venture on into Los Angeles, how you won big time. Okay, and so now what happened? Now God has blessed you with this financial increase. What happens for you after that?
So my goal after winning the money was to move out of my aunt's place where I had already been for 2 years and get off her couch, and to pay my car off, which was one of the first things, and also to just start like catapult my digital creation and being a content creator. I really wanted to invest in myself. I had a wonky laptop at the time, so I made sure that I invested into a camera, I invested into a new laptop, and I got my apartment, which is where I'm at now. And this is my dream apartment, high-rise situation. And I always wanted to stay in an apartment like this. So I invested into myself and did what I always wanted to do if I had the money to do it.
Wow. Okay. So at this particular time before you got your apartment, were you still in Dallas at the time?
No, so I had already been staying with my auntie for 2 years. So I stayed in Dallas for 3 years, and then I officially moved to California in 2019.
Okay, so your aunt stayed in California?
Yes, she was already here.
Okay, that's amazing. Okay, so, all right. You have been everywhere, girl. Okay? I mean, makeup, I mean, on sets. Like, do you feel as though when God blessed you with the financial increase that was your opportunity, you took advantage of it, and did things start going upwards for you after you actually got financially stable? Or
Yeah, when I became financially stable, I still wasn't doing makeup. I'm a full-time makeup artist. So that is my full-time job now. At the time, I was still working as a tour guide at Warner Brothers, and I was networking myself. Like, networking is very huge here in LA. Like, when people ask who you are, they also want to know what you do. So I was networking myself as a makeup artist. I was playing with makeup back in Dallas before moving to California, but I wasn't really a makeup artist. So networking myself as a makeup artist, my makeup was always done. So I had the skill and people seen that, and it became doing it for other projects, for their projects and things. So I remember the first film I worked on, it was called Welcome Back Son. This guy I had met at a film festival, and he was like, can you do makeup for my short film? And I'm like, sure. I had no kit. I had no brushes. I had nothing, but I knew that I was going to make it happen because this was an opportunity to do something I love, which was makeup. And I remember the first day on set, Whitney, it was literally so terrifying because it was my first time not only on set. I didn't know what the set life was, not only on set, but also working with all Caucasian cast.
right.
So I'm like, I had my kit ready because they sent pictures before. So I went and just picked up a bunch of foundations that would have helped me during the day. And it just was not it. I was like, what is happening? Like, I literally was so nervous. I wanted to tell the director, like, I think I want to go home because I was so afraid of failure. Like, I was scared that I didn't do the job that I wanted, that I should have done. So at the end of the day, he was like, just, I could tell you were in your head a little bit today. He was like, I just want you to know you did great. You know that, right? And I'm like, well, thank you. I'm like holding my breath. Like, I was really scared that I didn't do the job I was supposed to do for you. He was like, girl, this looks good. They did the playbacks and everything was fine. So that right there was a message for me to go invest in my kit. And that's how I started building my kit and, taking more initiative to become more professional makeup artist and having everything that I needed.
Right. Wow. Oh my gosh. So you're on sets now. You're doing makeup, but that's not all you do, ma'am. I see those pictures. I see that model life. All right. So did modeling pick up for you, or was it the whole reality sector of it? Was it modeling first? I would suspect.
So in Dallas, I was modeling. And then when I transitioned to California, it was makeup. I wasn't even networking myself as a model. So I was doing makeup maybe the first year I was here. I completely forgot. Like I said, like I started off in modeling. So when I came to California, I was kind of nervous to introduce myself as a model because I didn't know, like, plus size was acceptable here the way it is now. So I really wasn't saying, oh, I'm a model and makeup artist. I was just saying I'm a makeup artist. So modeling came to me once I grew in the industry a little bit more, started to get to know more people. And I'm like, okay, they love plus size models. This is when the breakthrough really happened. Ashley Graham was taken off, and Sabria Majors came in the picture. And I was like, okay, they opened the door for plus size models. And that's when I was like, I want to start modeling more. I still was not modeling how I wanted to. I was just working with, brands that knew I was photogenic and I could help their brand look good. But I didn't start modeling until I signed with my agent. So that comes after Thick House.
Yes, let's get into Thick House. I was trying to creep on up in there.
Yeah.
Yes, baby. Thick House. Okay, so how did you get into it? And then we're going to talk about the episodes. But yes. How did you get that opportunity? This was before you even debuted yourself as a model?
Yes, this was my first model breakthrough here in California. So after doing makeup for like a year and a half straight, doing nothing modeling, probably a couple e-commerce shoots, but I was still not established as a model here. On my casting networks, they were searching for plus size girls and they wanted them to have reality improv skills. And I'm like, okay, well, I love improv. So I auditioned. I sent them my self-tapes, told them who I was, and I also sent them like clips of me modeling and everything. And I got a call back. and they were like, we're gonna have you come to Hollywood Hills for 7 days straight, 12-hour days, and you're gonna film a reality show. And I'm like, okay. And they said it's called Thick House, and they told me who the hosts were: Takara Jones, EJ King, Kelly Augustine. Oh my goodness, I couldn't believe I was going to be on a show with Takara Jones. And I have no idea to this day, like, where that confidence in me came from. I mean, it's always been there, but when I got there to set, I literally just like clicked in to this character. I didn't know who she was, but I just gave it my all. And it was the most fun experience ever. And Thick House really helps me. Like, people don't really see everything, of course, from what they show, but it helps me in so many ways as a plus size model, because during this time I was battling with a lot of like body issues as far as like self-perception. Like, I just was not in a confident place in my life at all during this time. And Thick House really reminded me of who I was and allowed me to step out of that that body shame and appreciate who I was as a plus size model more, because they did not hold anything back. No. They laid it on me real. EJ was like, Jalisa, you need to give me more. I was about to say. You need to give me more. Like, Takara, like during breaks, I could tell they were really rooting for me. Because during breaks, they were like, Jalisa, like, we really think you could win this. Like, we need you to give it to us, you know? But everything happens how it's supposed to happen. And I say that because I know that I have the potential to go through the rest of the show and win Thick House. But that last day, I don't know how you want to transition into the days, but that last day wasn't for me.
Okay, so let's get into the episodes, okay? Because that you unofficially got eliminated on episode 4. Mm-hmm. They brought Jalisa back for episode 5, which they had to take pictures with a snake.
Yeah.
And I really, if you ask me, it shook a majority of you guys. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? I absolutely get it. And yeah, so I was just like, no, because I was rooting for you. I had a time. I was rooting for you. I was like, no. Why did they do my girl like that? And so when they brought you back and then you left again, I was like, no. I was so heartbroken. But you had such, oh my gosh, humility. You were so humble. I was like, oh my gosh, to get eliminated, come back, get eliminated again. You was like, just thank you guys for the opportunity. I was like, oh no.
Yes, a secret, a like scene secret about that. So when I got eliminated on episode 4, I was against, oh Lord, what was her name? Not Brianna. No. Samantha. So yeah. Episode 4, when I was up against Samantha, after the day and we got ready for judgment, we came downstairs and there was a frantic Whitney. When I tell you that it was literally like a Love and Hip Hop moment, they had to cut the cameras. Everybody was like in a frantic, and I'm gonna tell you why. So we get there, we're standing there, and they're about to start the elimination. So what they do, the producer hands Takara the picture of the girl that's going home. And Takara and EJ, they're all looking and they're like, for real? Like, for real? She's going home? Like, we don't know. We're just standing there like, we don't know what's going on. We just know we're here for elimination. And Takara's like, no, like, we got to talk about this. Like, everybody wait. Like, we moving too fast. Everybody stop. And they take me and Samantha outside. So we're like, what is going on? I wish they could have got it on camera because it was literal drama. And we're like, what's going on? And we see them talking to the producers and everything. And apparently they did not like who they were about to send home. So we go back in and they say this was a very close call and we don't believe it was the right decision at first, but we want Jalisa to stay. They were about to send me home against Samantha. And Takara was like, no. She was like, no, we're not having that. Like, I was about to be the next model sent home. So I get chills thinking about this because I just know it was God's hand over the whole situation. Right. Yeah, I was about to get sent home and they ended up keeping me instead and sent Samantha home that night. So wow. I was able to come back and re-enter the show. So that's when you see episode 5 and I made my grand entrance. Like, they were like, you know, like, we're not sending you home, Jalisa. So the next day I come back, and after we do the snake shoot, I'm up against Amarachi. This was the second elimination that I was facing.
Yeah.
And they were like, you know, y'all both did good or whatever. So they sent me home. After they sent me home, producers called me and was like, Jalisa, we really like you. Like, you almost went home last night against Samantha, but we really want you on the show. I was a fan favorite too. I made sure I showed up in like my own wardrobe. Everything that you see me in that wasn't in the competition, I came fashion forward. Like, I was ready. I was so
Yes.
excited about this opportunity. So I wanted to be there, and they could really tell. So when I got sent home against Amarachi, and they had brought me back, I made my grand entrance and everything. The producers literally pulled me to the side and was like, we want to use you for a twist. We want you to come back. We're going to eliminate you, and we're going to bring you back literally the next day. And so I'm like, okay, like, I'm down for it. And that's what really happened behind the scenes. I got sent home
Wow.
just to come back because I was the twist girl. They used me as
So
a
that
twist.
was perfect. So that was all set up.
Yeah.
See, this some tea. See, this is what we don't know, baby. Yes, you hearing it here first. My
Yes.
question. So are the judges even relevant? Do they actually have a vote?
They do. Yep.
Okay.
All of their testimonials where you see them like interacting and talking, they do have a big say so. And they definitely had who they wanted to stay there and compete in the competition. And the producers, I think, were like secondhand agreeing. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it was very real though. Like, everything was real. The process of elimination, the challenges were real. The snake was real. That was
I
I
can
can't.
tell. It was you. My question to you: how long was this process in whole? Because it was short episodes,
Yeah.
if you will. And how was it? 2 weeks, a week, 3,
We
4
filmed
weeks?
for 3 days off day, and then we had one off day, and then we had 4 more filming days, and they were 12-hour days. Yeah. So we would
Wow.
come in early in the morning, like 7 o'clock in the morning, and leave at 7 o'clock at night. So they wanted it to look like we were staying in the house, like America's Next Top Model, but this was during COVID, so we weren't able to stay there in the house.
Wow. Yeah, y'all looked all comfortable up in the little glam room.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all would come down. You're like, oh my gosh. I was just like, wow. So, question after the show, first thing, were you still connected to any of the models, any of the judges? And then were there any opportunities that came about from Thick House?
Yes, so I definitely made great relationships. The producer of Shade Room, we stay in touch. I'm still cool with all of the models from the show. We're in a big group chat, and we get together every now and then. After the show had finished, I believe, yeah, after it had finished, I got all the girls together, and we did like just some self content, like doing countdown for the show coming out, and just, you know, put out little clips and stuff together promoting the show. And I'm still cool with all the judges. They all check up on me. Like, we all follow each other on Instagram. So we stay in touch. And I'm so grateful for that, because Takara, like, she's literally like hit me up anytime that she needs some advice, or, you know, and she has a swimsuit line out now. So I may be connecting with her and modeling in her new swimsuit line.
Y'all heard that? That's exclusive. You bringing all the tea. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Yay.
Yes, so I made some great relationships. And as far as the opportunity, that's a story within itself. After Thick House, you know, like I said, I was going through a body dysmorphia season in my life. I didn't really accept who I was. I was dealing with confidence issues, but I still had it in me to want to model. Like, that modeling is definitely one of my passions. So I remember after the show had wrapped, me and all the girls were out to eat, and they were like, you know, what's next? We were all talking about what we wanted to do next. And I specifically said, I want to get signed. I never said that before because I didn't really know the importance of being a signed model and what it could do for my career. So I literally said, I want to get signed. That's my next thing that I want to do. And over time, probably like the next 3 or 4 months, I started to submit more intentionally to agencies, going to the agencies that are here in LA and submitting my portfolio, submitting the pictures I had. And I have been submitting to one specifically over the span of 4 years. I went through my email and I've submitted to her at least once every 4 years for the last 4 years. And in October of, what's this, 2023? In October of 2021, I was in Mexico with my auntie, and I got a call from Dorothy Combs Model. She's an agency based out of Miami, Florida, and she represents plus size models worldwide. She's one of the most prestigious plus size model agencies. And she called me back and said that she loved my look and that she wanted me on the team. So Thick House was in June, and I ended up getting signed in October.
Wow.
Yes.
And are you currently still signed?
Yes. Yep.
Good God, girl. Congratulations to you.
Thank you. Thank you so
How
much.
amazing. Speaking of being signed, ma'am, we can see you on the shelves. Okay.
Oh.
And okay, and magazines. Okay, with your lingerie. Okay. Let's talk about these campaigns, shall we?
Yes. So Dorothy, she is a great agent. I'm so grateful to be signed to Dorothy. My first year with her, I'm only going on this is like a year and a few months now. So my first year with her was crazy. Not only was it perfect timing because it was like Thick House, and then I was dealing with body issues. Then I had Thick House. Then Thick House brought me out of that body shame era. And now I started losing weight and I started feeling myself. And I'm like at my lowest weight I've ever been. And I'm feeling great. Dorothy signs me. So it was perfect timing, like literally perfect timing. And my first couple months, like she was on me. I had a lot of test shoots and she was like, JALISA, like I have a lot of clients seeking you right now. They want you. And the first one I booked was in January, just 2 months after signing with her, with Barely Bare Lingerie. And just thinking about it, Whitney, like I know for a fact, if this had been before Thick House or right after Thick House, I wouldn't have been ready because I was still in that season of not accepting myself. So after I came out of that and I started losing weight and getting in good shape, and then I booked a lingerie shoot for my first shoot with her, I'm like, wow. So I went to set and did this lingerie shoot. And after that, I literally told myself, JALISA, you can do anything as a model. Like you can do it all, because that was the most, like, I don't even know the word for it.
Liberating.
That was different for me, but it really, it gave me a huge boost of confidence. Because like I said on Thick House, that last episode, I'm glad that I wasn't there because they did the body paint. I would not have been mentally prepared to do that. So I knew God sent me home the day of the snake because the next day I would have came and they would have been like body paint. I'm like, so I knew it happened how it was supposed to. Right. But yeah, my first year with Dorothy has been great. I did a lingerie shoot, swimsuit shoots. Like I've worked with brands, Barely Bare, Shaper Mint, Milani Cosmetics, things of that sort. And I am now being on the shelves, which is crazy. This is my first time ever being on shelves. It's just always been a dream of mine. I've walked into stores for years saying that's going to be me one day. And it's finally happening. And I'm so excited and grateful.
I'm so excited and grateful for you too. Oh
Thank
my gosh. I saw your picture with the makeup. Now, how did you get that campaign in regards to your makeup?
That was self, what's the word? I had submitted myself for that campaign through my casting network. So I get like loads of emails every day that are casting for different things, and whatever I feel that I fit in that category, then I audition for it. So they were looking for fresh faces who were like photogenic and who love makeup, all this type of thing. And then they brought me on set to shoot for their latest foundation release. So that was self-submitted, but most of everything else has been through my agency.
Absolutely. Okay, we're finna wrap everything up. But before we do, how's your love life?
Oh my gosh, this is my first time ever getting this question during an interview.
Yes, because baby, we got to get this. Yes, I saw him. Very scrappy, y'all. You on her social media? See her boob. Yeah, I'm trying to hide.
Yes, when people ask me now, I'm like, they like, what you been up to? I'm like, booked and booed up. I've been booked and booed up. Yes, my love life is great. This is my first official relationship, the longest relationship I've ever been in. So I'm like really head over heels. We've been together for
Yay!
3 years in September. So you'll be hearing some wedding bells really soon.
Oh, oh, I gotta get the
Yes,
invite.
we've
I
been,
don't care where it is. I will come to Arkansas.
I
I
will
don't care.
definitely. I will
Like,
definitely.
oh my gosh. Look,
Yes.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank
I am
you.
so honored. I mean, I knew you had something.
Thank
Seriously.
you.
And you just have been so humble. You've just been so gracious and so sweet. And so before we wrap, I have this game
Okay.
that I always play with everybody that comes on here. So you're no different. And it's
Okay.
called Pick One. All right. So I'm just going to ask you, it's kind of like would you rather either or whatever, right? So I'm going to give you two different categories and you just pick one. Okay.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Nicki Minaj or Cardi B?
Nicki Minaj.
All right. Modeling or makeup?
Modeling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
I want to be full-time model for sure. I want to take my makeup career.
Look at you. Okay. Ice cream or cake?
Cake.
Yeah.
Birthday
Yes.
birthday cake with the buttercream specifically.
Oh, yes. I love me some
Period.
buttercream. That is my favorite. Okay. Burger or taco?
Now tacos. California and the tacos.
And it's Taco Tuesday.
Yep, it sure is.
Okay. All right. Last one. Travel or love?
I can't say both.
You can say both.
Okay, I would say both, but honestly, I would choose love too because if you're in love, you can travel. So I think love comes with traveling and just doing things together. So love.
Absolutely. Awesome. Okay. Now, my final question to you before we wrap up everything. Okay. If you could ask any person in the world anything, who would it be and what would it be?
If I can ask any person.
Dead or alive? Anybody?
Honestly, I would ask Michelle Obama. I would love to have a conversation with her, period. But I would love to just ask her, like, I don't know. I feel like I would have a conversation with her in general. Um, but I would just love to like ask her, what was her inspiration, like what kept her going through her term with President Obama? Because I can only imagine, like I think about it often, like, just our Black history and where we came from. And to know that she was the first Black lady, like I can only imagine like how she really dealt with things during that time. You know what I'm saying? Because the world is the world, and I know it was not easy for her, whether she was
Right.
the first lady or not. Like that was probably the hardest time of her life. So I would have a conversation with her about that, and I just think it's inspirational. But yeah, that would be my person.
Absolutely. So before we head on up out of here, any updating or any updates coming up? Anything that we can be looking out for JALISA?
Yes, of course. And first, I want to say thank you, Whitney, for having me on here. I'm super excited. And I thank you for being a part of my story because you are a part of my story. You allowed me to walk in your shows and you kept me, in that industry in Dallas. And I appreciate that. So shout out to you for making that happen and just keeping it going. And upcoming, upcoming. I got some things upcoming. I am working on a couple of personal projects and businesses that I will be releasing soon. And God has called me to do something big, which is what I'm currently working on right now for him. And I'm so excited to share. I don't want to say too much, but it is going to be something that is inspirational and that is for the people and it's to glorify God at the end of the day. So I'm excited about that. I'm working as well as a model still. So I'm expecting some cool fashion shows to come up, some shoots to come up. And I really want to start working with beauty brands this year. That's my goal, is to work with more beauty brands. So I'm excited about that. And anything else, you guys will just have to stay tuned because it's expected, even though it hasn't come yet.
Right. So where can one connect with you? What social media can we get onto from JALISA?
So you guys can contact me on Instagram, also TikTok. I'm growing my audience there on TikTok. But Instagram is the quickest way to book me for any makeup. I also travel for makeup. So if you have any weddings, events coming up, I will travel to you. And you can find me any and everywhere at JALISA SHAVEH. That's JALISA SHAVEH. Y'all see it right here or right there. You can find me any and everywhere there. And also, like, if you want to email me to keep it on a more professional board, my email is on my social media pages.
Well, thank you again, JALISA, for giving me this opportunity and coming here to Whitney D TV to spill some tea, y'all.
Yes.
Y'all better catch it, sip it up, okay? Thank you so very much. This was so fun, and I am excited about your future. And give me that invite.
Yes, I will. And I know Whitney D events, so I know this is a upcoming thing that I want to work on too. I want to host a huge makeup class in Dallas, Texas. It's either going to be a makeup class or a beauty event or both tied in one. But that is something I will be connecting with you soon. So if you're watching from Dallas, wherever you are, it's going to come. I want to do something in Dallas really big and take it back to my roots so that I can connect with you guys again.
Absolutely, girl. You know I'm there whatever you need. Okay.
I know you are.
I love you so much. Thank you again.
Thank you.
We'll
I
be
love
in
you
touch.
too, Whitney. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye. Oh my God. Yeah. That is my boo right there. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in to another installation of Whitney D TV, and also just listening in on this interview, Jaya. Oh my gosh. I love people that I've watched grow over time, right? And so, I mean, you never know who I know, right? I'll be trying to tell y'all. But anyways, you guys, that is it from me. Thank you guys so very much for tuning into this interview. I love JALISA. Hey, everybody. Thank you, Mom. My mom said good job. Thank you, Mom. Hey, Kamiko. Hey, Sonia, Tuli, Natasha. Thank you. She said you ladies look beautiful. Hey, Flawless. In the know with yo. Hello. Hey, Claudia. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Please like this video, share this video, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thank y'all again so very much. Okay. 48 minutes of your time. I'm appreciative. Thank you guys so very much. And again, please take out the time to head on over to my social media on IG, Whitney D_TV, or on Facebook at Whitney Davis. Okay. And check me out. Subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. We probably 110 away from being at 7K. Come on and help a girl out. Okay. If you don't know me, you get to know me, and stay tuned because we have a lot more of this coming up. Thank you guys so very much. And I will see you guys on the next video. Until then.